Hello gamers, my name is Dosphere and the year is 2077. Quite an interesting year because 2077 is the year of total atomic annihilation. But one man stands in between all of it. His name is Andrew motherfucking Tate. But hey, I know what all you guys are thinking. How is he alive? I mean, he'd be over 90 years old. Well,
will I really die?
Yeah.
50-50.
What are you talking about? How would you not die?
I've never died. Let's just put it that way.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're 35.
No, but I've never died, not even once. So, like, is it really gonna happen? I don't know. It's been a long time. It's never happened to me. Is it really gonna catch me? I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
some may call it a curse, but Andrew Tate, well, he has a few problems with it. So you see, the year is 2077, and I'm in my lovely home with my, Ukrainian wife, but it turned out she's Putin's daughter. And I was being watched 24/7 to make sure that I was still with her, because if I left, I would immediately be assassinated by the Russian government and they would declare war on America effective immediately. And worst of all, I was forced to say things like this.
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
And I wasn't allowed to make any of my own choices either, and she would tell me exactly what I had to do and when.
Mr. Andrew, Sean has been changed.
And worst of all, I even had to look after our child. But luckily, God was on my side, as the newsman said that the war was about to kick off and the nukes were coming. Of course, I didn't see this as a blessing initially, because I didn't want to spend the rest of my days in an old vault with my hideous wife. So I immediately tried to run out of the sanctuary, but then, well, you can't outrun a nuke. So my second instinct was to hop in the Bugatti and try and drive away, but for some reason, my wife had taken the keys. I tried to ask my neighbour for help, but he just kept saying, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home. I'm pretty sure he was a robot. I tried to intimidate the guard man in the control room, but in the end the only way out was in the vault, so I had to comply.
Hold on! Oh God! Oh God!
So anyway, we were put on ice, which was lovely as I didn't want to be anywhere near that freak of nature. But then not long after, I awoke from my slumber in the cryostasis to find myself from the future who came to kill my wife and free me of my burden. Absolute legend. Anyway, I get freed from my chamber and I make sure the wife is definitely dead because I don't want her hunting me down, and I progress my way through the vault. The first problem was the rad roaches, but of course Mr. Andrew Tate can easily take them out. I found a sick Gucci watch, and then I finally escaped the vault. Now on the surface, obviously I didn't have my exquisite sunglasses, so I couldn't see very well, it's quite bright. But I tried my best to suck it up and just deal with it, as always. Although imagine my surprise when I realised that I did find some eyeglasses, and I immediately ran down the hill, but then something very unusual happened. I found myself outside the Museum of Freedom trying to help some random survivors for no reason at all. So I charged my way through.
No more British occupation. Put to England with you. Have your tea back, you chicken innocents.
Clearly these were not my first victims. I used everything in my power to dispose of these foul raiders. I broke bones. I used my kickboxing talents and smashed every bone in their face into dust. I Spartan punched some woman off the edge. I broke this guy's neck. And well, I'm not even going to comment on what I did to this fella. Naturally, Preston was a bit intimidated by what I had just done to all those poor raiders that did nothing wrong to me. However, I needed to assert my dominance over him, so I stood there and said that he owed me.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll give you my chest full of emeralds.
Now that's something I can get along with. Now I had to help them out to get these emeralds, as my only goal here is obviously to make all the money back I lost in the nuclear war. So I hopped in the suit of power armor and grabbed the minigun and I went to town on all the raiders. After committing several war crimes, a challenger approached me, a giant 60-foot lizard, and he clearly wanted a fist fight, so I gave him what he wanted. It took a few good hits to realise that I was probably out of my league here, So, yeah, I soon clocked that I should probably stay at a distance with a minigun to fight this thing. So I wasn't yet strong enough to fist fight a dinosaur or whatever this thing is. After a long and hard battle, I eventually defeated the beast, and I ran straight back to Preston to tell him about my feat, and he was quite impressed with me, but I still needed to keep up that tough guy persona. He didn't even give me the emeralds he promised me, so I was out of there. It didn't take long until I found my next victims. 2 junkies were trying to rob this old store lady, so I immediately started intimidating them. Now, I told them to put their guns away, otherwise I said I would kill them, but I didn't even have a weapon in my hands. That's how intimidating I am. But anyway, I demanded all their money, which actually turned out not to be a lot of money, but still, I'll take what I can get. And then I told them to get out of here, which they also obliged to immediately.
Fine. We'll leave.
And then after that, I headed straight for Diamond City. Now, the main thing I needed here was to make as much money as I could. So, after a while, I realised what I needed to do. First, I needed to have a full makeover. I needed a suit and some very stylish sunglasses. So I went to the broker who sells clothes in Diamond City, and they treated me with a little bit of mistrust. I don't know why, maybe it was the bald head or something, but, you know, we got past that, set aside our differences, blah blah blah, and I got straight to my little shopping spree.
Happy to show you everything in stock.
Let's see what you have.
And here's the finished result. The suit's a bit tatty, but it's the best I could buy, and these sunglasses were very good. But there was a little bit of shenanigans kicking off outside, so I immediately got involved, sent someone flying across the street, and pummeled their head in. Anyway, back to my little business venture. I had a little bit of one of my episodes again, but don't worry about this. Definitely not a glitch. And I went into the Colonial Tap House, as I knew from my time travel malarkey that you can make a lot of money by doing the Diamond City Blues questline. So I observed 2 amateur boxers go at it, and I'll let you guys just watch this.
Go on.
Yeah, I should probably sign that guy because I don't know what that was, but that was crazy. Anyway, I needed to focus on enemy number 1, money. So, I got insulted by some woman. She was asking me to pay for her drinks, which is not something you do when a gazillionaire walks into the bar. Very, very, very unwomanly of her. But to focus on the opportunity at hand, it was with the guy that got his ass kicked. So I went and pursued him and tracked him down. And he invited me to come with him to intimidate the man that's sleeping with his wife for some money.
You got your ass kicked
And
by a lover.
although it's not the most straightforward piece of work that I really want to be associated with, it would do for now, at least until I got on my feet.
Everybody
So as we were intimidating the little pumpkin man, he revealed that he has a little drug deal going on which we can get involved in and make a lot of money from it. But before that, I needed to go and have a quick makeover. So I headed to Herbis Comics and got the Silver Shroud costume because it made me feel like a rich boy. I killed Shrek because I wanted his little power fist. Now this is a lot easier said than done, but after a few attempts I managed to do it by trapping him in the little subway. And I stopped off at Good Neighbor to get a fat man, but this asshole tried to intimidate the top G, which was not gonna pass. So at first I thought I would just intimidate him and tell him to go away and leave it at that, but I still didn't have enough satisfaction as he didn't really seem scared. So I broke his legs and exploded his skull. And I put the little dusty rebars all into his bones, and the ghoul man tried complimenting me, but I wasn't interested. I just wanted the fat man and the nuke for what I had lined up.
Relax.
Hey there.
You better get the fuck out of here if you know what's good for you.
I'm here for the chems and the money. Oh, and to kill you.
Okay, we're just gonna ignore that. Next time I came back, I did it properly. I shot the gangster lady right square in the chest with the nuke. And now I had hundreds of chems all at my disposal. I was going to be the richest man in the Commonwealth. But there was one survivor of the explosion.
Don't move.
Now, I'm not actually going to question how she survived this. I mean, she got direct impacted with a nuclear warhead, but let's just ignore that. She only broke her arm. So I threatened her a little bit more. She begged for her life and she said that she could tell me where to get more money. But because I'm a little magician, I knew that there's not really much more money to be made here. So I smacked her around the head with the nuclear catapult. And now it was time to distribute who was getting what. Now, Mr. Potato Pumpkin Man wasn't really too interested in making any money here. He just wanted to run away, which I was fine with. Whereas the little Paul Peterbrook, or whatever, wanted to take 50% of all the earnings, which I was not happy with.
No, I'm taking all of it, as the rest of my payment.
That was never part of the deal. This was supposed to be Cook's way of paying for what he'd done to me.
You know I'll kill you if you try and stop
This
me.
is how it's gone all my life. I've been screwed every time I had a chance to make it big. I hope you choke on all your damn money.
Now, despite him agreeing that I can take everything, I immediately walked up to the crates and found everything was gone. Like, no joke, this guy literally tried to take all of the chems for himself and walk away as if I didn't have a nuke aimed at his ass. So obviously, I put one in the back of his head. There's a bit of collateral damage. The Pumpkin Man also died, but good news, I had all the chems. And then I proceeded to go on a venture of selling everything that I'd acquired to all the vendors in Diamond City to make myself a small fortune. Now, I think from this quest line overall, you can make maybe 10,000 caps, maybe more. It depends on what your little speech level vendor thingy is. But I also met Sheffield, and he begged me for some soda, so I just gave it to him and just, you know, walked away. I had an argument with a robot that could only say like one word.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying?
And then I got called a broke boy by the richest person in town, so naturally I just murdered him and became the new richest man in town. All of his little friends weren't very happy about that, so I had to take out the trash, so to speak. Naturally, the police and law enforcement in the settlement weren't very happy with this. So I finished up my business, and the last one just about got away, and there was no way I was fighting the security, so I just ran for it. I was locked out by the one door, so I jumped over the rails. But then I had another one of my episodes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed this different style. And I mean, it's a bit of an unusual one, but you know, it is what it is. I hope you found it entertaining and all that. Drop a comment. Let me know what you thought. You know, if this was better than usual or worse or whatever. I always love to hear any feedback you've got. As always, like and subscribe for more. And I might do a part 2 of this because, you know, I've still got to go and rescue my son and all that, so I don't mind doing a part 2, but it's all up to what you guys want to see. My next video though might be Rainbow Six Siege, as I've been playing that quite a lot lately. But yeah, let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I'll catch you gamers in the next video.